medicine. So I have to say that has to be one of my first thoughts about sleep, and thinking sleep must be very important, the body and the way it responds. Imagine if I had a business meeting and I had just something like 4 days to spend in the US, or even 2 days, then how could I have possibly done that if I was suffering and recovering from jet lag? There's no way that would have happened. So that kind of began to catapult my interest in sleep. This is so many years ago. I think probably over 20 years ago. So let me see if I've got my slides now.
Give me a minute, ma.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Now let me ask a question while she's doing that. Can we just type into the chat? Everyone, please. I want you to type into the chat because it's going to help me quite a bit. How many hours on the average do you sleep? Everyone, just throw it in. Some will say 6, 4, 5, 10, 9, 2, whatever. Please speak to me. Speak to me. How many hours do you sleep? Somebody says 6. Go on. There's no right or wrong answer. That's all right. 6, 7, 8, 8. Good. 6, 8, 5 to 6, 5 to 7, 5. 6, 7, 6 to 7, 5 to 6. Somebody says irregular. Oh, I wonder what that means. I wonder. 5 to 7, 5. 5. So no one is sleeping 4 hours. Well done, everyone. No one is sleeping 4 hours yet. Oh, somebody says 4 to 6. The comedian. Wow. The comedian. Do you stay up, sort of formulating the comedy for the next day? I wonder. Let's go. Let's see her.
Somebody says I love sleep.
Oh, yes. Okay, if you love sleep, how many hours do you actually sleep? Tell me. We're in the same boat. I love sleep myself. I really do.
Oh, someone says
If I can get more than 8. Okay. Somebody is ready to take a vacation just to sleep. Better enjoy it, because some of these things kind of filter as you get older. So now that you're young and vibrant, enjoy all the sleep you can. Absolutely. Okay, let's see if this has arrived.
Someone says I enjoyed the lockdown, slept half of my life.
Oh, it will interest you to know that everyone spends a third of their life sleeping. So sleep is very important.
Someone is saying sometimes just 2 hours if there is disturbance around.
Please, can you let me share my slides? Thank you. Make me host and I can share.
Okay.
So we are just going to have a chat. You can see it's a very short presentation. And I recognize that there are people from all walks of life. And I know that the kind of age bracket we have here is from, maybe 30 all the way to maybe 70. So it's quite a span of people who are listening. So we're going to try to make it quite inclusive So everyone pick something away from this conversation. It's going to be a chat, nothing heavy stuff at all. Please make me host, Moyo.
Yes, ma'am, on that now. Okay, you've been made a co-host, ma'am.
Thank you. So, what's the big deal about sleep? What is the big deal? Really, what is the big deal? Why should we sleep? What is sleep? I don't think there's any need for any highfalutin scientific definition of sleep, but just to know that it is something that is absolutely necessary for survival. And you can see man sleep and animal sleep. Look at man's best friend, snoozing away. We know that certain things that you just need to remember is that your body works like a clock. What we call the body clock, or in medical terms, we call it the circadian rhythm. So your body works with a clock. And if you remember my story about when I went to the United States so many years ago, and I couldn't open my eyes for 3 days, suffering from jet lag because of the body clock. So it's a natural thing. We don't quite know why we sleep. We don't have it, or we don't know the entire reason why we sleep. The sleep experts have written lots of articles and books, but it's not very clear why we sleep. But we know that the Almighty God has given us that to help us solve some problems. We know what happens during sleep. We know a few things that get put together and get put right when we sleep. So do we wonder, is sleep time actually wasted? I've come across people who say, oh no, I can do with just 2 hours of sleep. I don't need sleep. It's a waste of time just spending, it's laziness. It's only, lazy people sleep. Lazy people spend hours in bed when you should be up working. And then they'll say something like, have you heard that this person and that person? And then they mention all the billionaires of the world and say, they don't sleep because they're making money. Why should I sleep? That is so wrong, because thankfully, those billionaires are beginning to recognize that the sleep is paramount to them. One of the well-known billionaires who lost his life not too long ago from pancreatic cancer, we all have knowledge of what he said in his dying days. So, and he was quite a young person. So we do need sleep. Sleep can affect our health for sure. Sleep can affect our health in so many ways. Sleep can affect what you do the next day. And we're going to come to that. Those are simple, practical things. But inside our body, if you don't sleep properly and rest your brain, what happens is that there are so many things that are supposed to be recalibrated while you're sleeping. There are so many hormones, so many body chemicals, so many neurotransmitters are supposed to just be recalibrated while you're snoozing away like this sister of ours who is sleeping. If you don't do that, that recalibration doesn't quite happen. And then what happens? Your entire body is set up like fire, and then nothing to calm it down. So if you take sleep as something that actually calms you down, instead of pours some ice water on fire, your body is on fire all day, and you need to go and lie down so that some ice water is poured on it, and so that you can calm down and recalibrate, then I think you will appreciate sleep the more. But how much sleep do we need? Some of us have written that we sleep from 5 to 7, some 8, some 7, some 6, and so on. We're going to find out in this short talk how much sleep we really do need that science has recommended at this time. And we're going to find also that sleep really interferes with our work. Remember my story of going to America and not being able to do anything for 3 days. I just couldn't because of jet lag. And that is because my circadian rhythm was totally put into a mess, and it wouldn't recognize what was happening anymore. And that's what we call the mind-body medicine. It just couldn't recognize what was going on. And so if I had work to do, I would have lost all those days, and I wouldn't have been able to be effective. If I'd gone to board meetings, I'd be sleeping and nodding away in the board meeting. So we have come to realize that sleep is absolutely important, and is something we need to see as extremely important for health for now, for health for the future. There are immediate consequences of poor sleep. There are also things that will happen If you chronically lose sleep, like this sister of ours also, who is just looking into the ceiling in the dead of the night, not able to sleep. There are things that will happen tomorrow, the next day when she wakes up at work. She's not going to be able to focus. She's going to be having brain fog and all kinds of things. If she was to drive to work, she is more, I mean, I'm sure you know that she's at risk of having a road traffic accident because she could just slip off on the steering. And then there are short-term things and then longer-term things that happen to your health. Because with every amount of time you don't sleep properly, all kinds of things happen in the body. All kinds of things happen in the body. You put your body into a state of chronic inflammation. And chronic inflammation, we now know, is the common bottom pathway of all chronic illnesses: diabetes, hypertension, obesity, cancers, Alzheimer's, dementia. When you get older, you can't remember anything. You can't even remember your children. You are not able to make sensible conversations, but you're alive and breathing, but the quality of life is gone. Now, we now know that poor sleep over a long period of time can actually cause that. So can we please remember that if we don't pay attention to sleep now, we will regret what happens down the line, be it in diabetes, be it in hypertension, be it in obesity, be it in cancers, be it in Alzheimer's, and the rest of it. And so she goes to work, God forbid, she falls asleep on the steering, and there you go. And there is death and there is all kinds of things. She gets into the office, she just cannot concentrate. If she's a school child, they cannot concentrate. And right now in the US, there is stuff in front of their parliament to actually change the time that children start school so that they are sleeping for longer and they're able to concentrate better. Okay. Chronic lack of sleep, I've said a lot of that, we can have chronic disease from it because it throws the body into a state of chronic inflammation. And all that mopping up that happens while while you should be sleeping in the dead of the night doesn't happen when you're not sleeping. So we have what we call inflammation going on because there are free radicals. We know in science, medicine, we call it free radicals. And here's how I want you to imagine what free radicals are. When you go to the mechanic and they have the fire, they are cracking away. You know, all those sparks that come out that you see that they wear some goggles to protect their eyes from. That's what reminds me of free radicals. So if your body is firing all day, one of the things that we know sleep does is at night, all that firing comes to a stop and the body has a way to kind of mop it up and deal with it and send it out of the body. So now, if you're not sleeping properly, the recommended number of hours, the firing continues. And so let me also explain it in very lay terms. You can now imagine that firing, all that light going to your joints and causing arthritis, going to your lungs, going to your heart, causing heart disease, going to your pancreas, going to all kinds of your organs, leading to dementia, leading to diabetes, leading to hypertension, leading to heart attacks, leading to cancers of all parts of the body. I am sure a few of you today will be hearing for the first time that chronic lack of sleep can actually lead to cancer. So you hear that, this person has died of cancer. Oh my goodness. And then you go, but there is no cancer in their family. Where did that come from? It didn't come from the village. No, it might actually be that for a long time, they have not paid attention to sleep. And then things have spiraled and ended up with that. And so also other chronic illnesses that I've mentioned. So sleep really affects practically all our body tissues, be it the growth hormones, the stress hormones, which if they keep going up and going up, all sorts of things result from it. And in the night when we sleep, for those of us who continue to try to maintain adequate weight, here is the good news. Why don't you change your sleep pattern, just your sleep pattern? And when you do sleep properly, the appetite hormones that are regulated during sleep, and that is the only time they're regulated properly, ghrelin and leptin, that are responsible for you to feel hungry, to eat, or for you to say, for your body to say, no, I've had enough, stop eating. If you don't sleep properly, here is the thing. Ghrelin and leptin will not calibrate properly. They will not recalibrate properly. And therefore, the next day, what happens? You're snacking, you're overeating, because those hormones have not been recalibrated at night. You're moody. You know, somebody talks to you in the office, you snap for very little reasons, or you're home with your partner, with your husband, with your wife, or your kids, you are snapping everywhere. Your mood is up and down. And I've talked about how you can actually be overweight as well. When you don't sleep properly and the stress hormones are just rising, cortisol and stuff, and they're not being recalibrated, you have all these deposits of fat, especially around your waist. So anytime you go out now and you see those men who are actually pregnant, yes, pregnant men, just tap them at the side. Make sure it's a friendly tap. Otherwise, you get a punch on your face. Tap them and say, how many hours did you sleep last night? And he said, I had a board meeting. I had a meeting here. I had a political meeting. So maybe I didn't sleep for more than 4 hours. You say, really? What about last month? What about the year before? And I said, I can't actually remember when last I had a good 7-8 hours sleep. You say to them, if you want this big tummy to come down, better start sleeping properly. I think that something that I haven't mentioned so far is low sex drive. Men, even women, but particularly men, if you want your sex drive to wake up, go to sleep. Sleep properly. Sleep properly. If you sleep longer hours, you will recover, in a vast majority of cases, your sex drive. So that's good news for people who are struggling with that department. Sleep properly. And of course, the other things that I'm sure we all know, you come to work or you go out with red eyes, dark circles around your eyes, headaches, you're tired all the time. So if you're one of those that go to your doctor and say, I don't know what's wrong with me, doctor. I'm just tired. No matter what I do, I'm tired. I wake up in the morning and I'm tired. I'm supposed to be refreshed in the morning, but I'm tired. Can you look at your sleep and see what is happening there? If you find yourself sleeping on duty, that's not proper. As a matter of fact, the afternoon siesta we have, you should try not to make it more than 20 minutes and at most 30 minutes. Just short power naps. That's all you need. Anything more than that, you'll be going into difficulty sleeping at night. So how many hours do we all need? You find out that when children are born, they sleep for hours and hours. I've seen parents, first-time parents come to me and say, I'm not sure what's happening to the baby. He's sleeping all the time, hardly waking up to eat, etc., etc. The first thing I say is, your mommy there to do omugo? They said, no. I said, okay, that's why you're asking, because this is what they're expected to do. They sleep very many hours. They just wake up to feed and then back to sleep. Wake up to feed and for you to change their nappy and then back to sleep. That's all the work they're supposed to do. But as you get older, all those hours get less and less and less, to the point that by the time you're over 18, the rule of the thumb is that you should be looking to sleep 7 to 9 hours every day. And if you're not getting that, please, you need to seek help. You need to seek help from who knows the kind of help to give you. So that's very important. Why is sleep helpful? Well, from everything I've said, I'm sure we already can put 1 and 2 together to say that sleep will improve our productivity. It will reduce our risk of chronic illnesses and therefore reduce our risk of premature death. It will improve our emotional health. It will improve how much we remember. It will improve for children in school, cognitive function, skyrockets when they, begin to sleep properly. It improves health behaviors as well. So if you're struggling, for example, with smoking or alcohol or any of those things, if you sleep better, you're better able to face even that. What's the way out now? Now that you've heard that if you don't sleep at least 7 to 9 hours, so you can mark yourself now with that information. If you don't sleep for 7 to 9 hours every single night, so you're in danger of any of those things I've said. What is the way out? It's time to say, I'm going to make a change. I'm going to make that change. You're going to commit to ensuring that you have refreshing night sleep. And I think it's time to just slow down and say, we're not just talking about sleep, but we're talking about refreshing night sleep. The kind of sleep that you wake up in the morning and you actually feel like you've slept. You feel refreshed, you feel ready to go, ready to take on the world. Not the kind of sleep you have and then you wake up and you're, oh, I feel like going back to bed. I remember my little baby boy. Well, he's not a baby anymore. He's 14, going to be 15 this year. My last born, and he said to me the other day, "Mommy, what's going on with me? Every day I wake up and I feel like I need to go back to sleep. I'm tired. I'm feeling sleepy." As I said, "So how many hours do you sleep?" He said, "Mommy, I sleep 8 good hours. Is it not? Am I not supposed to sleep for at least 8 hours?" I said, "No. At your age, at 14, you should be aiming for 10." And she goes, "Oh, really?" I say, "Yes." So if your body tells you go back to sleep, that means you are not actually having enough sleep. Okay. So it's time for you to translate all this knowledge into practice. Remember that there is a way out. If you are struggling to sleep, the way out is not the pill at all. As a matter of fact, there's a problem with taking pills. There is a big problem with taking pills. And this is not the day to talk about it, but it is very ill-advised to take pills. And if you constantly go to your doctor and they, that deal you with prescriptions of a sleeping pill, or you go to your favorite chemist and they know you and they give it to you without a prescription, they are not doing you any good, because something is going to happen down the line if you continue to take pills to sleep. Very dangerous, not a good idea. Don't do it. Apart from getting addicted to that, and to a point that you cannot sleep at all. You cannot sleep at all without them. That's answering the question now. If you continue to take sleeping pills, a time will come when it doesn't matter what you do, sleep will not come unless you throw that pill in. And the pill you're throwing in is not altogether a good thing for you at the end of the day. So that has been a really quick brush through sleep. I hope that I've been able to actually ginger you to say, now I'm going to actually sleep. I'm going to really try to sleep better. I'm going to get in those hours and I'm going to sleep better now. I'm ready to take any questions that you have. And well, I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. The class is full also. Well done. Thank
Wow,
you for
wow.
listening.
Thank you, Ma. That's really a wonderful summary. And I can see that people are already bustling with questions. Thank you so much, Ma, for that exposition. Because those of us who are in the medical line, some of us might have some insights into this, but even despite this, I find out that a lot of medical professionals still have problems sleeping. So I'm sure we're going to have a lot of questions. So please, let's give it up for Dr. Ifeoma Moye. Please express your appreciation to her for giving us that fantastic delivery. You can clap, you can send a message in the chat box just before we start taking your questions. Thank you so much, Ma. If I'm going to look at some of the comments here, um, I can hear someone say, okay, can we have the recording of this webinar? Good enough, this was streamed live on our Facebook channel, so you'll be able to access it after now. Yes, people are asking for the slides. So you might not get our actual slides, but you can watch it again. Someone says, I really enjoyed this session. Thank you. Thank you so much for the appreciation. Thank you so much for the lecture, Ma. Awesome presentation. I also need the slides. Thank you for this insightful presentation, Ma. Thank you for educating us. God will enrich your knowledge more and more. Amen. Thank you for the wonderful presentation, Ma. Thanks, Ma. It was so insightful. Thank you, Ma. Succinct. Wow. I have so many comments here. So thank you so much. Do we have specific questions for Dr. Moye about sleep? I have a few that were sent in during the registration, but I would like us to take the ones here first. Okay, I can have, okay, very educative, Ma. Thanks. how do health workers, doctors get enough sleep considering our schedule? Ma, do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, thank you. That's a very important question. And there is a whole movement now looking at uh, people who do shift work. And that's a whole conversation for another day. We know that people who do shift work, a lot of research has been done to show that they are actually at risk of certain cancers. And they've been found to have increased prevalence of cancer of the breast for the women, especially those nurses who do shifts all their lives. They're at risk of developing diabetes, they're at risk of developing obesity, and so on. So there is a real problem with shift workers, be it medical workers, nursing, or other professions where all your life what you're doing is shift work. But also, these are the people that particularly need to pay attention to their sleep. Yes, you, by virtue of your work, which is essential, you have to be out there working at night while others are sleeping, and your circadian rhythm is messed up. But these people, what we are saying is pay extra attention to all the pillars of lifestyle medicine. If other people are joking with everything else, you cannot joke with your diet. You cannot joke with your rest and relaxation and sleep. Well, we'll leave that and we'll come back to that. You cannot joke with your exercise or physical activity that is a regular thing. You cannot joke with avoiding tobacco and toxic substances. You cannot joke with managing stress. And then, of course, social relationship, what we do with one another. You cannot joke with those. No, those 6 pillars, as we have captioned it in Society of Lifestyle Medicine of Nigeria as your dreams. Those 6 pillars, if you are somebody with shift work, please make sure that you are actually doing more and more and intentionally and deliberately, flooring all the others and not just taking it. I tell you something, it is also clear that people who do shift work, because it sends you to another level of stress. They're actually at risk of substance abuse. So they smoke, you find that they smoke, they take alcohol and all of that just to relax. Some of them say they need to take some alcohol in order to sleep when they get back home or something like that. So they're at risk of so many other things. And so they need to be very careful. At this point in time, there is no tablet that we say, go and take a tablet once you get home and so you can sleep. As a matter of fact, don't do that. But there are lots of things now we know we can do to help, such as what I'm doing now. You can see this is not prescription glasses I'm wearing. This is glass to block off the blue light that is coming from this screen that I'm facing. So one of the things that we're advising them to do is to make sure that either your screen has a blue light already inbuilt in it. Mine has the inbuilt screen, but I fortify it with another one because I don't want my sleep messed up at night. So while you're doing your night shift, please have your blue blockers on. So they do that. And when they're going back home, if you can, put on your dark goggles as well as you're driving back home with this, and make sure that you're eating fresh fruits and vegetables, lots and lots and lots of it, because we also know the connection between fresh fruits and lots of vegetables, water, 2 to 3 liters every day, and sleep. So you fortify all the other pillars so that this one that somebody has to do shift work, unfortunately, this is covered. Then also the second thing is, please let these people go to do regular health checkups, annual, or even sometimes depending on what your underlying illness is, 6 monthly. Do regular medical checkups so that at the earliest point where anything is raising its head, it is picked up and is addressed. A lot of cancers now can be cured if they're picked up early. And we know that, every year on the World Cancer Day, I think there was one last month. One of the things that the oncologists keep saying is early detection, early detection, early detection. So if you know you're at risk of that, please don't joke with your annual checkups or your 6 monthly checkups, as the case may be. Okay. I hope that has answered your question.
Yes, Ma, I believe so. I know that most questions will revolve around that. And at this point, I would like us to know that getting coached on sleeping better or on living a healthy lifestyle is important. Sometimes we have so much information coming at us right, left, and center. You know, we know these facts, we know the figures, we know that this is what is important for us. But some of us, we are not able to sustain it because we don't have a good understanding on how to maintain such healthy habits. And this is where the issue of having a family doctor who is a lifestyle medicine physician comes in. And, you know, our speaker today is actually both, and she has mentored me. I'm also a lifestyle medicine physician. And, you know, we're growing this group of professionals also in Nigeria and all over the world who are interested in, you know, writing a lifestyle medicine prescription for you and not just medication. So you're going to have the opportunity to get coached by either Dr. Ifeoma Moye or myself or other members, you know, of the team who are coming together to collaborate on what we are developing for you as a person, for professionals, for business people, for even for students. It's the ultimate sleep coaching guide on how you can have and enjoy a refreshing sleep. So this is just an eye opener. There's so much more that you need to know. And by the time you encounter the experts that we have on this team, you'll discover that you'll be able to sleep like a baby within the next 21 days. And we're going to be sharing the link in case you are interested, you want to sign up for this coaching, then it's going to be available to you at a discounted fee. We're going to be sharing the discounted this discount code before the end of this meeting. But before I go ahead again, is there any other question here? For a 9 to 5 worker living in Lagos, what is the most advised time to go to sleep? I go to bed at 12 a.m. and wake up at 5. Very bad. I need help with balance. Please, this coaching guide is for you. We can't tell you everything about it during this webinar. There are some things that are unique to you as an individual that will need to come out as we coach you on how to have a refreshing sleep. And I can see that there's so many other questions that are similar to this. Like someone is saying, what can I do if I can't get enough sleep for 6 hours? I rarely sleep for 6 hours. I'm 62 years of age. And I think she has already commented about that. Do you want to say anything more about that, Ma?
Yes, I actually just unmuted myself to say that. And to say that the 62-year-old who has that concern, it's a legitimate concern. Is a very legitimate concern and something you have to do something about. We know that, unfortunately, a lot of us see aging as a time where, oh, well, I'm expected to get older.
Okay.
I'm expected to get older and have some problems creep up. Well, it doesn't have to be so anymore. You need to understand what in your unique situation can help you sleep better. So like Dr. Moyo Sarah said, Makinde said, the coaching training coming up, coaching team that is being put together. And I think this is the first webinar, isn't it, Ore? This is the first of all the webinars. Okay, so we are doing this. We're coming together with the four experts in this. We're coming together to help you to sleep better. And at 62, you really need to address it. Why? Because it will only get worse if you don't arrest it now. There's, of course, like I said earlier, the real danger of dementia, the real danger of heart disease and heart attacks, the real danger of diabetes, even if you don't have a family history of diabetes. I think what everyone knows is hypertension. You know, it's always been known that, oh, you didn't sleep well, it's your blood pressure. Okay, we know that. But what we haven't all known all along is all the other things that I've mentioned. So we also know that as we get older, everyone is at higher risk of having all kinds of cancers. We want to stop that. We want to say that can actually be prevented by putting in all of these lifestyle changes and all of these lifestyle behavioral changes to help you live healthier, live longer, and live happier. So that would be my answer to the person who raised that.
Yes, thank you, Ma. Somebody made a comment and says that what if they sleep during the day and not at night?
Okay, that's all they say, nothing more than that.
She said, what if you sleep during, yes, that's all she said.
Okay, so that cannot take the place of nighttime sleep. Remember, I talked to you about your body clock, the circadian rhythm, and how that every single hormone that is responsible for different things that happen during the day are recalibrated during the nighttime hours. So, and that is why, again, shift workers are in this kind of quagmire where they need to pay special attention to their health because of all those natural things that happen. And the other thing I forgot to mention is that for shift workers, please do your shift work for the shortest amount of your lifetime. Don't, as quickly as possible, move away from there and go to other areas of work where you don't have to do shift work. There's another advice you need to have. Anyway, so back to this person. So your daytime sleep cannot augment for the nighttime sleep. Remember, I said that even when you have your naps, they should be power naps. 20 minutes max, maybe 30 minutes. As a matter of fact, there is a power nap that happens around 3:30, 4 o'clock, thereabouts, where people physiologically, that's the way the body does it, will want to go to sleep. That's okay. It's been found to actually increase productivity at work after that. So, but put your head down on your table, nap for 20 minutes, 30 minutes max, wake up, and then carry on. But don't do daytime sleep. And in fact, if you do daytime sleep, you will be disturbed at night. Your nighttime sleep will be disturbed. So that's it. You're muted, Ore. Ore, you're muted.
Thank you, Ma, for those answers. I'm sure that you've answered most of our questions. I'm still trying to scroll down to see if there's anything else that we haven't addressed before we zoom out. I've shared the link to the coaching guide for those of us who are interested and you want to find out more. So you can see the link over there in the chat box. I also just want to quickly check our Facebook to see if there are any questions there. I can't see any question there now. So, and it's already 8 o'clock. We usually do this for about an hour. And I really want to say thank you to everyone who has stayed on this long. Please, if there is any question that hasn't been answered, you can sign up for the coaching guide. And it's important for us to remember that everything that we do affects our sleep. Whether you're exercising, what you're eating, your relationships, everything boils down to sleep at the end of the day. And that's why we can't address everything on a 60-minute webinar. So, and I'm going to be posting this link to the group, like someone is requesting now. I will share the link to the group. For those of us who want to know more, you can follow at Lifestyle Champions International on Facebook and even on our YouTube channel. We have a Telegram group too, where we share important information. And it is because of Lifestyle Champions that we're able to get this discount. This discount I've been talking about. This guide comes highly rated because of the expertise that is going into it. Dr. Moye is a very senior person, someone who has mentored me, someone that I look up to, and she has so much to give, when it comes to healthy living. So you want to take advantage of this coaching guide. And somebody is asking, how do I get the recorded video? It's on Facebook, it's on YouTube. So just type in Lifestyle Champions International and you'll be able to see the live recording. So for those,
can I just say
yes,
something? Sorry, before you finish, you let me share my screen in a minute. I think I can still share.
Yes,
Can I?
please. Yes, please.
Okay. Carry on. I want to put something on.
Okay. So for those of us who need the recorded video, you've not missed anything. Everything is out there on our YouTube channel. So what Lifestyle Champions does is that we collaborate with other experts and collaborators to bring us such important information at a discounted price. For example, this coaching guide is a resource that's going to be useful for a lot of people. So just take the code. I'm going to share that code now. So just write it down somewhere. If you're able to use it within the next 24 to 48 hours, you'll be able to benefit from that discount. So it's Sleep Well. Sleep Well in capital letters. SLEEPWELL. Sleep Well. Together in capital letters. So you can use that on the link that I've sent to you. And just to give you some more information, are you still trying to share your screen, ma?
Yeah, when you finish, I'll then do that.
Okay. Yes, ma. So I'm going to share another link with us now to make it easier, that too, and maybe some flyers to help us and guide us to where you're supposed to get the guide. So over to you, ma.
Okay, thank you very much. So I just needed to share this. I don't know if it's showing.
Yes, ma, it's showing.
There's a
Very well.
flyer. Is a flyer showing?
Yes, ma, it's showing.
What is it saying?
Are you contemplating
Thank you.
pregnancy?
Yes, yes. So I just wanted to announce that so, some people were very kind words. I want to thank you for your very kind words. Somebody said, what an enthusiastic presentation. You're very kind and you've spoken into my heart. That actually reminded me of this. I had forgotten actually completely about this to announce. I think this is 2 weeks from now or thereabout, or 15 days, something like that. Yeah, so that's roughly 2 weeks from now. I'll be putting up, there's a webinar coming up by the Brookfield Center for Lifestyle Medicine. And we are having a guest speaker from the United States of America. And I don't know who needs this information and this help. If you don't, that's fine. You will know somebody who needs it. There is a lot of issues with fertility, and there are a lot of questions about preconception health. And we are looking at lifestyle, fertility, and preconception health. There are people who are struggling with endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, PCOS, dysmenorrhea, early menopause, or any other reproductive health issue that is stopping you or giving you some challenge with having children. So this webinar is free, will help you. And you know, I'm going to ask my dear Ore, so that this is sent to everyone who has been on this webinar to register or give it to somebody you know is struggling. I have a personal history of having infertility for 4 years before I had my 4 children. So I come with not just the expertise, but also the practical experience and knowledge I garnered when I was going through infertility myself. So I don't think you want to miss it, or anyone you love who is struggling with fertility, please, it's a no miss webinar. Saturday, 26th of March at 4 p.m. Please endeavor to spread the word, and Dr. Ore will send this across to everyone so that you make it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing that. It's very important, especially in this part of the world, you know, where reproductive health is taken so seriously. A few months go by after a wedding and nothing is happening. You know how everyone is trying to find out what is happening. And I know about several testimonies about how God has really helped our speaker to connect with people who were trusting and waiting for the fruits of the womb. And the Lord has used her to bless them. In fact, there was one that you shared with me. Was that last year? And in fact, I think it was on the day of the launch of LCI that good news came, you know, about someone who had been trusting God, and the Lord blessed her. So there's so much to learn from her. God has specifically given her, you know, that area. to deal with. It's an area of ministry. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
thank you so much, Ma. It's been a wonderful time tonight, and we're going to follow up all these discussions and share out the flyers and all the other important information that we need. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Yes, Ma. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you all.
night.
Good night. Thank you for coming.
Good night.
Thank you.
Please, Dr. Ore, how do we get the recording?
Yes, so just check. I'm going to share that on our group pages, but you can Google Lifestyle Champions International on Facebook. It's on Facebook. This was streaming live on Facebook. In fact, it's still on right now. But we'll stop it shortly, so you can get the recording.
Thank you so much, man. And if possible, you can
Thank
help
you
us send
very
the
much.
recording
Good night.
to our Telegram page, man.
Okay, I will do that.
Thank
I'll
Alright,
send
man.
it.
you. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Night.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming. Good night. Thank you so much for coming.
Dr. Ore.